I've been having a lot of trouble in post editing lately, and that's because my screen grabbing software has a variable frame rate playback, while the recording from the camera actually has a constant frame rate. And so that's what was causing this asynchronous video and audio display. I have it all figured out now. However, yesterday I forgot to edit the title and the date of the intro after I settled everything else out. And that was after I uploaded the video. So I ended up just pulling the video down because I was super frustrated. But the analysis was so on point that I had to make it public again. So if you didn't watch yesterday's video, go watch it. I'm going to be following up with some of that analysis today. I want to start with the big four that I cover every single day really quickly on a daily time frame. Here we go. SPY, IWM, the ETFs, followed by VIX, the volatility index, and AMC, the stock that got me involved in the equities markets. So here we go. Looking at SPY, you can see that we are in an uptrend for the last 4 days, and these candles are looking pretty bullish today, forming a hammer even after touching down on this uptrend, which is bullish. However, I do think we're losing steam, and if tomorrow is going to be a green day, I'd expect a short green day, maybe a doji, maybe we get a wick, something to just really show us that this is a dying uptrend. Unless, of course, we get a massive surge of volume and a significant high, in which case I'll have to flip the bullish and say, hey, look, it looks like the bottom is in. But I don't think the bottom is in. I think if we are going to get a green day tomorrow, that it is going to be a demonstration of a lack of bullish follow-through, kind of a wishy-washy thing. And on IWM, I'm expecting the same thing. If the price can push above 170, that's great. But really, we got to get way much higher, above 174, maybe even 175 before I really say, hey, the bottom's in. If it's a green day tomorrow on IWM, I think, too, it's going to mark a minor high before a big spill lower. And granted, if we do get these 2 green days on SPY and IWM, I'm still bearish. I think that we're setting up for a bigger spill downward, that the last week has just been a setup, a corrective uptrend in a longer downtrend, a corrective bounce, not a bullish reversal. Looking at the volatility index, you can see that it has been red, and typically when the volatility index is red, the markets are green, people feel good. Volatility index, the quote fear index, is down, and it's looking like it might be ready to turn around again, but it might even come all the way down to this trend line way down here, which would translate into a couple of green days, maybe even one really, really, really big green day if the price overshoots these horizontal levels of support resistance, which I'll show later. AMC did dump. What a big red day. And we almost had a bearish belt hold, but this tail is now too long. We do have a Marubozu open, which is to say there isn't a wick up here. The price just opened and tanked. I was talking about this in yesterday's video. I'm going to zoom into the intraday charts now and talk about what I see there on the 15-minute time frame. Flexible grid. Starting with AMC, this is where the most fun is. This is what I like to day trade, and I did day trade today actually. I know I said in the past that I was going to stop, but then I saw the opportunity. The thing about day trading is this: if you have a plan, if you see a trade, you have a plan, you stick to it, you're going to make money. The problem is when I'm day trading all the time for the sake of trading all the time. I mean, this is a vlog about trading, and when I don't trade, I feel like I lose steam. So it's nice to be trading just to have something to talk about, really. So we have this big downtrend coming in with an uptrend. They collided, and we did have this seemingly bullish breakout, but I said it's not really that bullish because we had a big wick on the daily candle of this uptrend. You can see the price just instantly start to fall there. I have a ascending broadening wedge shown here by these yellow lines. This is a corrective phase pattern, and typically we get a return to the start of the pattern. The breakout direction can be any direction. It's like a 52% chance of an upward breakout. It's pretty random, but you know, in a corrective phase, you're generally going to follow the overall trend, which here is down. And so we did get that breakout out on the open, as I was saying yesterday, and then the price did move down to the beginning of that pattern, which was around $12, and then it kept falling too. So I actually bought puts right off of the open today and wrote them down. And I think I sold that first put towards the bottom of this this pennant here, and then I entered again towards the end of the pennant and sold again right before the price touched down on the uptrend. Really, I could have made more money had I held a little longer, but I wasn't going to be greedy. Nope, not making those sorts of mistakes ever again. So talking about waveform analysis is really important when I talk about these trades, because what I see is a 5-wave pattern, of which we are in wave 4. So the first wave would be a big push down, this big bar, and then wave 2 is defined by this pennant, which I have shown in blue, and then you have the continuation of wave 3, and I have the first 3 moves shown there, 1, 2, and 3, and then 4 would be up to this little green guy, and then the 5th wave would be that extension all the way down to the low. And now this rise would be wave 4, which is marked by the bottom of wave 1. You can see that wave 1 would be here at this trend line at the beginning of this pennant, and that's just about where wave 4 ends. So what happens next is up to tomorrow's open, and I'm expecting a bearish open. If we do get that bearish open and we do come down through these trend lines both, we're going to get a 5th wave, and I expect it to extend, and it'll just be a glorious dump. I do see that the MACD is starting to come up into the bullish side of things. The RSI is pulling up as well, and we do have some increasing volume buying into the close. And again, that could be that we get a bullish move in the markets in general. SPY and IWM in that case would be moving up, and VIX would be moving down. And if that were the case, AMC could pull up too, but it's going to be really hard to set a high that's going to impress me. If there is a big push higher tomorrow in the markets, it's most likely that what we'll see is the price pull back up to the bottom of this pattern, right? Which would lead us up to about 1275. I really don't expect the price to reach 13 tomorrow. If it does, it's going to be a major area of resistance. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm either looking for a push higher up to the bottom of this pattern, or the beginning of a massive dump back down to about $10. And that could happen in a single day if the markets choose to dump on Friday instead of next week. I am looking for more downside in general in the market. So it is possible to get the big dump tomorrow. It might be Monday. I do think, though, it's in the near future. You can see that there is this nice J shape through here. AMC making a descending scallop. Now, wave 5 would be here between points C and D, and we haven't seen this yet, but again, I do think that the open is probably going to be red. Probably just most likely red. Even if the price climbs up to 1275, that move could still start with a dip down. So what am I going to do? I'm going to trade this scallop if we get that dump in the morning. If we get the dump in the morning and this pattern confirms, the measure rule is going to give us a pretty good low. I'm going to be taking the height from probably today's open to the low of today to calculate the price target, not reaching up into yesterday, because that 5-wave pattern looks really good on the open. So that's what I'm going to do on AMC. Yeah, this is a big dump, and this is what I was saying would happen yesterday. If we got a big push out of this pattern right off the open, boom, back down, test the uptrend, and we are. So this is looking feeble, ready to move down, not really ready to pop. I mean, this wasn't really a very good breakout. Volume was low, the RSI was already burning up. It was just too much. So nothing to see there. Let's go to GameStop. I said, let's go to GameStop. GameStop's making an interesting move. It looks like we have a 5-wave motive wave forming. Wave 1, 2, 3, and now this would be 4. And you can see waves 2 and 4 are shaped differently, which is pretty typical in Elliott wave patterns. So I'm looking for a 5th wave, and that might truncate against this downtrend, and that would make sense if the markets are green tomorrow. So if AMC moves to 1275 and GameStop pushes up to this downtrend, and IWM and SPY move up into weak topping patterns, that makes a lot of sense to me. That's the most likely thing. And then Monday comes around and boom, the markets drop until we get this important economic data, the Q2 GDP on the 29th. And what day is that exactly? That's going to be Wednesday. So maybe Monday, Tuesday are big dumps if Friday is green, if Friday is not just the big dump. Okay, so I'm looking for GameStop to move a little higher before edging back down again. I'm just not confident in it. It just does not look very strong right now. And you can see implied volatility is dropping through this pattern. That's because the price isn't moving either which way. But typically I see IV drop like that in consolidation patterns. You can see the RSI almost has some bullish divergence here. Not quite, because, well, the low on the right side wasn't as low as the low on the left side. So not really much there. Let's go look at SPY. SPY, come on, SPY. Now here's the thing, those candles on the daily time frame looked really bullish, right? But when you zoom out, or you zoom in, I should say, on a smaller time frame, you can see that the price is actually, it looks like it could be forming a bottom, right? There's a corrective uptrend that we started on the 17th of June, but the price is now very much near to it and is continuing to fail to break through this level of horizontal support and resistance. We already have 1, 2, 3. We're now working on a 4th peak, and actually this reminds me of something. So I'm gonna go over here and do a little navigation. Let's go to the pick index that Bulkowski has. And, you know, I don't think it's actually here either, because he doesn't show you what his new patterns is. He adds to his site regularly. Sometimes he even has new stuff. So let's go to the index. And yeah, latest releases, 3 peaks and a spike. This is probably what I'm going to be looking for on SPY to mark the top of this corrective pattern. He says he discovered it in 2021, so last year, which is really recent. This is what it looks like. I mean, yeah, big push up, 1, 2, 3 peaks, and now we have a fourth peak going higher. So I'm going to be reviewing this page and perhaps even trading this. You should also visit the site. I mean, if you are following my vlog, that's really cool. But you should also be doing your own research. So I'd encourage you to go to the patternSite.com. This is Bukowski's website. This is where he has his pattern analysis. And I also recommend that people buy the books. This one's about Elliott wave theory. This is what Bukowski points to as the authoritative source on Elliott waves. With my time, 10 minutes. I gotta hurry up. I don't want this video to be too long. Okay, so this does look really weak, doesn't it? I mean, yeah, it does have a bottom kind of look to it, but the volume's been decreasing. Volume is dropping through this uptrend, which typically means that it's coming to an end. The MACD has been coming down. It came up, sure, but it's probably just getting ready to dump again. I don't think that we have any meaningful divergences here, except maybe here we had lows and then a higher low as the price of the lower low, and now we've had that bullish divergence play out as the MACD pushed up higher, and now it's seemingly moving with the price again. So it looks like it might be time to well, either ride or die. So SPY not looking as strong on the intraday charts as it does on the daily time frame, and IWM is the same way too. It looks more bullish on the daily time frame. When we start to look at, I mean, I was looking for a diamond when I drew that line. We start looking at these smaller time frames, you can really see that the price is having a hard time pushing higher. I don't think that the same 3 spikes or 3 peaks in a spike applies to IWM as much, although it really might. Look at that 1, 2, 3 spike. We have this little pattern up here first. I don't know. It's basically the same as SPY. It really is. You have a decreasing volume trend. The MACD had a bullish divergence, but that divergence looks like it's played out and can't overcome this level of support and resistance near 169 to 170. So yeah, expecting a dump there. So I've gone over those time frames. I don't really think VIX is worth looking at the 15-minute time frame. So that was AMC, GME, IWM, SPY, the daily update, going over the big 4 just really quick. And that's all I have for today. So making sure that my mic is on, that everything's recording. Okay, happy trading.